Hello guys, welcome to day 3 of the Hackerrank 30 days of code challenge. Today we are going to look into conditional statements and this is what the challenge is all about. So let me just quickly uh, tell you something about conditional statements and make it easier for you to understand. So let me initialize an integer n with 9. Now what are conditional statements? So conditional statements are if else statements. I'll show you the skeleton of the conditional statements. So if and then a bracket and then curly brackets, then else if a bracket and curly brackets. So else if is used when you have to check more than two conditional statements. Okay. So if there is only one conditional statement, then we can directly use else. Now else cannot take a conditional statement, so it doesn't check a condition. So if these two conditions are not satisfied, then it will directly execute the statements which are written under the else statement. So in brackets, we write the condition that we want to test. So I want to test that if n is even. So for that, we use the modulus operator n percent 2 is equal to 0. So how do we check if the number is odd or even? We divide it by 2, and if the remainder is 1, then it is an odd number, and if the remainder is 0, then it is an even number. So this double equals basically test if the left side is equal to the right side. Alright, so this if uh, if n is an even number, then it will print n is even. Now if this statement isn't satisfied, then it will jump to the next condition and test that condition. So now now that we have confirmed that n isn't an even number, so we already know that it is an odd number. But then I want to check if n is equal to 9 or not. So if n is equal to 9, then it will print n is 9. Alright. Now if n is neither even and nor it is 9, then what? Then the command will be shifted to this else statement and the statements under the else statement will be executed. So if it is neither 9 nor even, then this will be printed. N is neither even nor 9. So let me just run it and see what gets printed. So ideally this should be printed, n is 9. Okay, n is 9 is getting printed, so it works. Now if I change it to 8, this should get printed. Okay, another thing that I wanted to tell you is that uh, if the first if condition is satisfied, then it will jump out of these conditions. So it won't test the second condition and it won't execute the else condition else statement as well. So it will directly come out of these conditional statements and execute the remaining code. So let me run it again. So n is even is printed here again. Now let me set the value of n to 11. So this should get printed. Okay, so n is neither even nor 9 is getting printed. So that's it. That is what I want to tell you. Now we can proceed to the challenge. Okay, so the task we have to perform is that we have to check if n is odd. If it's odd, we have to print weird. If it's even and in the range of 2 to 5, then it's not weird. And if it is greater than 20, it's not weird. And If it's even and inclusive in the range of 6 to 20, then we have to print it's weird. So yeah, these are a set of confusing statements. So let me just clear all this and start fresh. Wait. Okay. Now there is going to be an input. So in 10, then we'll input and save it in n. Now if n is odd, then we have to print that it's weird. Okay, so if n modular division 2 is not equal to 0, then C out weird. That's what we have to print, right? Oh wait, weird. Else if it is inclusive in the range of 2 to 5, then it's not weird. So if 2 is less than equal to, oh wait, if n is greater than equal to 2 and n is less than equal to 5. So if you want to check both these statements, like if n is greater than equal to 2 and n is less than equal to 5, and you have to satisfy both of these statements simultaneously, then this double AND is represented as the uh, AND logical operator. Okay, so see out, not weird, right? Yeah, not weird. And again, if it's inclusive in the range of 6 to 20, then we have to print it's weird. Okay, so we can again write else if n is greater than equal to 6 and n is less than equal to 20, then see out weird. Else see out not weird. Now I'm not writing else if and giving the condition that n is greater than 20, because all the other statements have already been checked, so we don't need to check if it's greater than equal to 20. I think we are done with the challenge. Let's see if it works. Okay, so 2 test cases have been passed. Alright, so all the test cases have been passed and we have successfully completed the challenge. Okay, so this was all for today and this video, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.